Hi, my name is ColdBeer and let's start with Titan Quest 2.
In the second part of the game, you will return to the classic mythology-inspired setting and slay legendary monsters as you journey across ancient Greece. I promise you, it was just like that back in the days. Monsters on every corner, everywhere you go. Every Greek can confirm that in the comments. Anyway, here Nemesis, goddess of retribution, is out of control. She's corrupting the threads of fate and condemning all those who oppose her to eternal punishment, including you, because she's awesome and she needs no other reason. But for you that reason is not good enough, so you'll have to take up your weapon and face some of the most powerful forces in Greek mythology in order to stop Nemesis, free those she's punished, and weave your own epic tale by, enslaving everyone yourself. It's a Greek myth after all. Well, I mean enslaving those who are still alive after you hack and slash through this beautiful world. So, like two people, I guess. The game is super beautiful and actually fun to play. People on Steam are praising the gameplay, but of course keep in mind that it is still in early access, so you may encounter some nasty glitches along the way. SpellForce 3 Reforced. If you are searching for something like the third Warcraft, search no more. This is a fun mix of RPG and RTS, meaning that most of the time you will control heroes that can gain experience, new skills and all that. Really similar to Warcraft's additional huge maps where you control Rexa, and the other half of the game is traditional base building, unit training and upgrading so you could swarm the enemy with your eternal wrath. Campaigns are really well written, so reading and listening for conversations will be the thing you'll do a lot. And I mean it, about a third of the game consists of dialogues. So if you just want quick matches where you can show your insane APM of 20, it's not the case. But if you want story-rich RTS RPG game, this is definitely for you. REMNANT 2. This is the sequel to Remnant from the Ashes, best known as Dark Souls with guns. The game pits survivors of humanity against new deadly creatures and godlike bosses across beautiful but menacing worlds. Here you can travel alone or with friends as a team and explore strange new worlds and beyond, overrun by mythical creatures while trying to stay alive. There are multiple worlds to explore with different types of creatures, weapons and items. Game has branching quest lines, augments, crafting and loot rewards that will test the resolve of even the most hardened players in dynamically generated dungeons and areas. Most of the players are saying that the second part is better than the first one, meaning that developers learned from their past mistakes and made an actually awesome game. Jagged Alliance 3. In the sequel of the legendary tactical strategy turn-based franchise, you can select from a huge cast of mercenaries, all with their own unique personalities, quirks and backstories. Then go out and explore the land as you meet new people, earn money, grow your team and ultimately make your own decisions that will decide the country's fate. Here you will also find a campaign that you can play alone or with friends in online co-op mode, control territory, train the locals, command multiple parties and defend against enemy forces in an alive and active world. You can customize your weaponry and even decide on the fate of the country in an open RPG structure. Honestly, I was really skeptical about the game's quality before the release, because sequels like that, especially after so many years, tend to flop, while most of them actually fail to live up to the expectations. And Jagged Alliance 3 wasn't anything like that. A very positive review score left by thousands of people proves that without a sweat. Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. The game was released in 2012, but almost 10 years later it was remastered and sold, you know the drill, as a new game with a price of a new game. Everyone was raging and giving the game bad reviews, but now it's not a problem anymore. On various sales you can get it with a 70% or even bigger discount. The game itself was designed by the Elder Scrolls Oblivion lead designer Ken Rolston and set in a world with a lore of 10,000 years of fiction created by New York Times bestselling author Robert Salvatore. So this is a huge open world game where you will uncover the secrets of Amalur, from the vibrant cities to the vast regions and grim dungeons. You will have to rescue a world torn apart by a vicious war and control the keys to immortality as the first warrior ever to be resurrected from the grips of death. I must say that even on a remastered version, the age of the game shows itself. It doesn't matter much, but just keep in mind that this is an old game with a new shiny armor. Expeditions Rome. This is an indirect sequel of Expeditions Viking, and it has already accumulated a very positive review score on Steam. So here you can create your own Roman legacy, customize your character's look, gender, class, and skills to match your playstyle and role-playing fantasy. Although I doubt that you will find a slider for a ding-dong size, like we have in Cyberpunk. That would be a pleasant surprise. So here, as in the prequel, you will engage in tactical turn-based combat powered by an extensive skill-based action system, where every weapon changes your potency on the battlefield. This is a great game for the people who like to use the tiny organ between our ears. People on Steam are saying that this is an interesting, a bit underrated RPG game that takes a huge amount of time to beat, but gameplay almost never gets boring. Destroy all humans. It's the 1950s and you, a decent hard-working alien, are here to destroy those disgusting filthy humans for your own personal gain, and just for pure fun in general. Of course, you will have an array of unearthly weapons and psychic abilities. I think you will enjoy an A-probe gun in particular, because who doesn't like... never mind. In this game you can also control a flying saucer.
Nice!
In general, this game is well written and fun and doesn't take itself too seriously. Also, there's an update on the graphics, so it's much prettier now. The only sad thing about this game that it takes only about 8 hours to beat. Second part of the game is also available, although it is a bit less loved by the fans. Darksiders Genesis. This is a great game with great humor and very positive reviews on Steam. It is well balanced to play in co-op mode, but also fun in single player as well without any regrets. You, like me, probably have no friends anyway. Although I must warn you that here you'll do more shooting than bashing and stashing, but you will get a fair share of the latter as well. Gamers on Steam are praising the aesthetics, interesting story and fun gameplay, but are grumpy about controls and few almost unsolvable puzzles. Game has great graphics, a bit childish dialogues, terrible camera angles, and no potato salad man class, which is a shame. Anyway, for me it gets 8 cold beers out of 10. Turbo Overkill. The game's motto is half metal, half human, all murder machine. Title is heavily inspired by some of the all-time greats like Doom and Quake and Duke Nukem 3D, with awesome cyberpunk visuals. You'll play as Johnny Turbo, augmented with hidden arm rockets and a chainsaw that extends from your lower leg, allowing you to slice enemies wide open. If that sounds amazing, believe me, plays even better. As people say, the game is set in something between Blade Runner and Doom. Your enemy here is Rogue AI and its army of augmented minions. And the coolest thing is that you just need money, probably for buying better ingredients for your potato salad. And because of that you take on the impossible job of destroying the greatest AI ever created and take the bounty. Sounds easy. Desperados III. You can kill quietly with a knife or take out multiple foes with your revolvers. I especially like the knife part. It somehow feels more personal and, of course, requires more skill. Scenarios Desperados presents are far from cliché. Situations are quite original, but also familiar with a nice vibe of Wild West. I say vibe because here you will fight not only in small frontier towns, but also in creepy swamps, riverbanks, and even in sprawling modern cities. Here you can choose between non-lethal and deadly attacks, meaning that you can finish the game without killing anyone. I have no idea why you may do that, it's boring. I live my real life without killing anyone. Why should I do the same where I am allowed to snap a neck or two? For example, I am against hunting for fun, but I play the hunter and I slaughter all the animals in the forest for pure entertainment. You know why? Because they are not real. Duh. Anyway, Desperados 3 is like an old good Commandos game, but modern with amazing visuals and great quality overall. 8-bit Invaders. Remember all the Lovecraftian movies where bodies are merging with each other? You know, like The Thing, The Fly, or Annihilation with Natalie Portman. So if StarCraft and Minecraft were protagonists in such a Lovecraftian movie, 8-bit Invaders would be their merging result. See, you can always think of something better than just a cliché about
if StarCraft and Minecraft had a baby.
So this is a fast-paced RTS, a very colorful strategy arcade game that it's easy to learn for players of all skill levels. Collect resources, build up and defend your base, amass your army of tanks and starships, and ultimately crush humans with your metal tentacles, or show aliens who's the boss here. You'll find 24 campaign missions, 10 co-op missions to play with your mother-in-law, destructible environments, and you know who the composer is? Frank Klepacki, the same dude who created music for Command & Conquer 27 years ago, when he was 17. Yeah, I will keep repeating this fact. And if you feel that this 8-bit setting is appealing to you, keep in mind that you can also find 2 more games, 8-bit armies that are made with the fans of Command & Conquer in mind, and 8-bit hordes that can be appealing to Warcraft fans. SuperHot Mind Control Delete. This is very entertaining, but also a kinda short game. It will take only about 7 hours to complete. To players who never tried the game, all SuperHot titles look the same, so I have to mention that this is the 3rd game in the series. Here you will not find regenerating health bars, no conveniently placed ammo drops. It's you alone, outnumbered and outgunned. You will have to snatch weapons from fallen enemies and dodge through a truly cinematic hurricane of bullets. SuperHot is a real slow-motion where your every move must be calculated. Most people are praising the graphic style of SuperHot, but I'm not a fan. But hey, it's just me. SuperHot Mind Control Delete has 85% of positive reviews. If you like how it looks, you will definitely like how it plays. Metal Eden. In this single-player first-person shooter, the best qualities of Doom, Unreal Tournament and Quake merge into a non-stop action carnage. You are an advanced battle android and your mission is to kick everyone's ass who is not agreeing with you that pineapples don't belong in any potato salad. The game has probably the worst game description on Steam I have ever seen in my life, and as a writer I wanted to gorge my eyes out, but I decided not to. Anyway, they are way better game developers than they are writers, and here you will test your skill against robotic, cybernetic, artificial enemies like never before. Okay, like many times before, but only those actually good times, I promise. You will shoot, bash, slide, electrocute and harness your superior agility in acrobatic combat. The game is quite short, around 5 hours of your boring life will be made better by it, and very positive review score can confirm that with ease. People on Steam are saying that Metal Eden is a very fast boomer shooter that will take you back to your youth when you had at least double the amount of hair on your head. No worries, you know how they say, every hair lost is an IQ point gained. Nah, nobody says that. I'm sorry, your IQ is probably worse now. Just enjoy the game, it's great. STASIS Bone Totem. Perhaps I should start with the fact that the game has an overwhelmingly positive review score on Steam. That is always a great sign. Here you will take control of Mac and Charlie, a husband and wife duo who make their living by searching the ocean for salvage. But when you stumble upon an abandoned oil rig in the Pacific Ocean, you uncover a horrific secret, and the evil corporation behind it will do anything to keep it hidden. As you embark on your adventure, you will encounter an immersive narrative filled with spine-tingling horror and unexpected twists. STASIS Bone Totem, despite being a psychological horror game, is kinda relaxing because of the point-and-click nature and an interesting puzzles to solve. Observer System Redux. This is a cyberpunk horror game where you will discover a dark world beset by plagues and war. You will take on the role of the new frontline of neural police as you hack into the jagged minds of the insane. So as you hack into the unstable minds of criminals and victims to look for clues, you will relive their darkest fears, forcing you to question your own reality and your own sanity. You know, maybe you are the one who's actually insane. All in all, this is a dark, psychological horror detective game, so be sure you have the mental balls to play it. The game is not for everyone, but if you like creepy sci-fi stories, it's definitely your spoon of potato salad. People on Steam are saying that the game is kinda scary, but really nicely welded together and is an absolutely unique experience. Severed Steel. Here you will play as a woman named Steel. You have a prosthetic arm and you use it to navigate the levels, which adds an interesting and unique element to the gameplay. And although Steel has no arm, she's not armless, if you know what I mean. Honestly, here you'll find a huge arsenal of arms, just not arms. The game's physics engine can be a little bit wild at times, which makes for some hilarious moments when enemies get flung around like ragdolls. And with a killer soundtrack that perfectly matches the game's pace, Severed Steel is really fun to play. Whether you are a hardcore FPS fan or just looking for a casual game, I think it's worth your time. It has more than 90% of positive reviews on Steam, and that is always a proof of a good game. Jack Move. This RPG is a unique blend of gritty cyberpunk storytelling, turn-based battles and beautiful modern pixel art. Here you'll become a vigilante hacker. When the overreaching mega corporation kidnaps your father, you have no choice but to get him back, before it's too late. I don't know, too late for what exactly? Let's hope for the worst. You know, to spice things up a little. So you have a lot of questions. Why was your father researching digitized consciousness? What does this corporation wants to do with it? What is the purpose? Why? When? With who? And finally?
Very nice, how much?
So all these questions circle in your head and only you can answer them by, getting the answers, most of the time by force. Anyway, the campaign will take around 6 hours to finish and the review score on Steam revolves around 80%, which is not bad. Airborne Kingdom. This is a sky city builder where you grow a unique town among the clouds, build housing, satisfy needs and grow your clan. Maintain lift, balance weight and be careful not to run low on fuel while you fly it across a wide open landscape, which changes with every playthrough. So as you can imagine, this is mostly a management game that will take all your attention. You will search for resources, find lost technologies and discover the fate of the ancients. Well, honestly, nothing good ever happens when someone has to use the word fate in your description. For example,
The fate of that boy.
will never mean that he achieved greatness. More likely he was eaten by a shark, or
The fate of that country.
yeah, probably bombed by nuclear devices rather than achieved prosperous democracy and wealth. So the fate of the ancients, expect that the worst happened to them. Not necessary though, but very likely. Anyway, here while discovering everything, at the same time gain allegiance with the ground kingdoms and help them find artifacts, construct monuments and build trade routes. Your guidance can propel an era of harmony. But knowing you will probably crash into some thriving city and kill thousands of innocent people instead. Yeah. Cloudpunk. Here you will play as a person named Rania. This is your first night working for Cloudpunk, a semi-legal delivery company based in the sprawling city of Nivalis. You go everywhere, from the marrow below to the spires that pierce the grey clouds high above. No delivery job is too dangerous and no one is faster than a Cloudpunk driver. You never ask what's in the package you are delivering, but, one day everything went south and suddenly you will have to unravel mysteries in a world of corporate conspiracy, hackers and rogue AI. Great original game. Expeditions Viking. Game description says, a small band of Norse warriors lands on the shores of England. History may have forgotten their names, but their actions live on. Well, as I always say, the actions Vikings made in real-life England involved a lot of pillaging and other crimes, like, killing. So romantic and songs-worthy. Anyway, he as the newly appointed chieftain of a modest Viking clan, you'll have a village of your very own. But to carve your name into the runestones of history, you'll need great strength and great wealth to grow your village's prosperity. There is little left to be gained from the Norselands, and so you must set your sights on the seas to the west, where tales speak of a great island filled with treasure and slaves ready for the taking. Game has a very positive review score on Steam, but there are also quite a few comments saying that the game is a bit too slow, just like your sister.
And now thank you for watching, have a nice day and I'll see you next time, and also subscribe, bye!
Subscribe to ColdBeer, enjoy